Chef Buck here, and today we're going to bake up some blueberry scones. Super easy, basic recipe. So let's get down here, and we're going to start with some flour. I'm going to put 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And this recipe is going to make probably 6 or 8 scones, depending on how we cut them up.
Okay, but technically, a scone usually has butter. This is...
Huh? What do you mean a scone has butter? What do you mean a scone has butter? We're not putting any butters in this scone.
Okay, Turtlehead.
Okay, so there's 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And then we're going to put in a little baking powder, 1 tablespoon, and not a lot of sugar. You can be flexible with the sugar, but I'm just going to do 1/3 of a cup.
You're putting blueberries in, right?
Yeah, so blueberries are going to be kind of sweet, but we're not going to go crazy on the blueberries. And then a little bit of salt. I'm using all-natural sea salt, but feel free to use salt created in a laboratory by scientists. So there, what's that? That's a dish dash of salt. We'll put that in there.
Crazy man.
Crazy man. All right. We'll give it a little stir. Mix up these dry ingredients. Like I said, I'm not going to use butter. I'm going to use safflower oil. If you don't want to use safflower oil, you can use coconut oil. If you don't want to use coconut oil, you can use sunflower oil. And if you want to use another kind of oil besides that, then that's a chance you're taking. I would use coconut, safflower, or sunflower. Now we're going to add in a cup of cream, or creamy type stuff. I'm going to use some fat-free half and half.
Fat-free half and half? Isn't that an oxymoron?
But you can use regular half and half, or you can use cream, whipping cream, whatever you want to use.
I'm surprised though, these are still really good.
You're surprised that they're good?
Without butter and fat-filled cream. Yeah, I am.
Let me go ahead and start to mix this up a little bit. Tame my flour so that it's not poofing around everywhere. And then I'm going to add in a couple of extra ingredients for taste and texture. I'm going to put in a little toasted pecans. If you want, you can do walnuts. And then I'm going to add in some blueberries. And I'm using frozen blueberries. I used to use, when I would make blueberry scones, I would thaw my blueberries out first. Because I used frozen, and I'd thaw them and then put them in my dough. But then it would look very messy because it would make the whole thing very blue and muddy. So if you're using fresh blueberries, just use fresh blueberries. But if you're using frozen, make sure you put them in frozen. It'll make for more attractive blueberry scones. So we'll get everything mixed up. Now I'm going to do a splish splash of flour to spread my dough out on. So I'm just going to roll it out on my counter. Oops. A little more flour on there so I don't have too big a mess. And then I just want to shape it into a wheel. And I want it to be about 1 inch high. And it doesn't have to be perfectly wheel shaped because we're not going to put it on our cart and roll it around town. We're going to put it in our belly.
Oh yeah.
Now we're going to slice it in half. Now this is a very important moment right here because we can cut it into 6ths or we can cut it into 1/8. So I'll cut it in half and then I'll cut each half in half. So we'll end up with 4 on each side. I'll go ahead and pick it up. Oops, let me get my pan over here. Excuse me. I'll go ahead and lift my scone up here and then I'll put it on my parchment paper. Let me cut my other half here. Excuse me, camera girl.
You could have even cut those into 3rds.
No. These are small enough. I definitely wouldn't want them any smaller. So now we've got them sliced into semi-reasonable shapes. And I've already got my oven preheated at 425 degrees. And we'll slide it in here. And then we're going to let it bake away for 15, 20 minutes, something like that. We'll keep an eye on it. And then we're going to eat scones.
Did you ever put an egg wash on it?
Ah!
That was a comedic look. Ah!
I forgot to do something. I want to take a little bit of my milk and I just want to lightly brush the top of my scones with a little bit of milk. Now, if you are an advanced baking person, then you might have a brush that you can do this with. But if you're an old school prehistoric caveman baker who's at your mother-in-law's house and you don't have a brush.
We do have a brush.
Do we? Where's it at?
That's all right.
It's too late now. I'm doing the classic two-fingered move here.
So you could do this with milk, or you could do it with an egg.
You know, milk's just easier. If you just put a little bit of milk on there, it'll brown up. So now we'll slide it in the oven. And now we will wait 15 to 20 minutes and then see what they look like. Beep, 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 beep. It has been 20 minutes. And I probably could have taken them at 15. They got a nice little color. Didn't space them far enough apart. Stuck together a little bit, but they look beautimous. And I think we'd made the right decision cutting them into 8 pieces. So we'll go ahead and throw them on a little racky rack here. So the bottoms don't cook anymore. And they don't get wetty wet. We'll let this cool down and then we'll do a little taste test.
Yay!
But it's flour and sugar and blueberries and nuts, so I wonder how it's going to taste. Here, before you turn off, let me break one of these open. Let me break one of these open while it's hot out of the oven so you can see inside there. Look at all that steamy, dreamy goodness.
So it's sort of like a muffin. It's a little drier than that.
Muffin? This ain't no muffin. It's kind of warm, but I can't resist. Now that I've opened it, I got to take a bite. Mmm. You're so good hot out of the oven.
If you hadn't taken such a big bite, you wouldn't have had
That wasn't a big bite, man.
You better feed your camera girl.
Well, here, come over here and you do a test while it's warm.
I've got on my painting clothes.
What are you talking about? You look. Come over here. Get in the right light. Camera girl thinks that she doesn't look good enough to be in this video. Look at this. You're fine. I mean, I've got a Frankenstein face, and I'm in the video.
Still have beautiful brown eyes.
I'll tell you what. I've brainwashed you somehow. Is it too hot? It's not too hot. It's nice and warm. We should play one of these up and get it to your mother while it's still warm.
Good idea. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. But there you have it. I'll have a link down below to myfoodchannel.com. You can go over there and check out the complete recipe. Give it a try. Let us know what you think. And here, you do this. Sorry. She's still eating. Did you eat part of your mom's scone? Okay. But that's it. We'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.